Virgo, I'm really happy for you guys. This is kind of like take a break kind of week. Vacation. If I could name it anything, I do have to come up with a name for this, right? It's almost like take a vacation. Or mentally, I think you will be on vacation. So please, please, please don't hate yourself. This is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It gives you a week ahead look into the astrology and the tarot. So let's dig in to what you guys will be experiencing. Astrologically, the biggest things are, so during the Mercury retrograded all the way back into Virgo. Well, it's going to pop back into Libra again. So Mercury is heading back into Libra. There is a full moon in Aries this week. I don't think that the moon is actually going to disrupt you a little bit more when it's in Pisces, right before it goes full in Aries, because it ends up kind of exacerbating Jupiter and Neptune, which are both in direct opposition to Mercury. And that's the biggest thing that you're going to be challenged with this week. If you make it a challenge. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, it could be an exceptional energy for you to create, and just let yourself go, let yourself be, let your mind wander into places that inspire you, and to focus all of your energy on being able to on that creative space and that creative energy. This is really beautiful for you. But the thing is, it's going to take you out of your normal routine. I just don't think you're going to feel so bad about it. When it comes to, really, like normally it would irritate you, right? To get off the normal routine would irritate the crap out of you. But it's just like so much is coming at you all at once. It almost feels good to like take a break and get away from that for a while. And your escape will definitely be inward. But once again, not in a bad way. I think the astrology encourages you to daydream. I wouldn't take all those dreams seriously. So like, oh, this is what's going to happen. It's not that. It's not predictive. It's not regimented. It's not quantifiable, right? It's qualifiable. It's how is this making me feel, and where are these feelings leading me or taking me? And it's really all about inspiration this week. So it is sort of a mental vacation if you will allow it for yourself. Okay, that's interesting. Really curious about where this is going to lead you, or where you're going to allow it to take you. But it's almost like a little bit of a break from the normal pressures that you would put on yourself. This is a cascade. So when the cards cascade, for me, it's everything, one thing happening after another. And this sense, Virgo, of a flow. Like water, it's just gonna let it flow. So my recommendation to you would be this week to allow things to flow and to take a break from the regimentation. Maybe your mind needs that right now. There's also a sense of an outpouring of emotions. This could be a really interesting time for you when it comes to your relationships. Letting it flow. In other words, the two of you sort of melding into each other because you're sort of opening up to each other. It may not be the easiest of energies, but the fact that if you make it water, instead of throwing bricks at each other, if you're just like kind of splashing at each other, and you'll be able to flow back into each other. So the secrets of this week really are flow, inspiration, and creativity, and everything else I think your mind will feel muddled for. So it's almost like the universe forcing you to take a vacation, at least mentally. Take a leap of faith. It's almost like take a leap of faith. It's almost like trust what an authority figure has to say, even though trust what an authority figure has to say. There is this mentality this week of, in other words, let somebody else take the lead. And think of this as if you were dancing on a dance floor. Allow somebody else to guide you and lead you. The biggest act of courage this week will be to have faith in another's ability to be able to get things done correctly. Love is all around. This is a sense of trusting somebody else's authority, especially where it comes to your relationship. So do you have the courage and strength to be able to trust them and just let them take the lead? I feel like you will be, or it's suggesting that you have done so already. We have clear out the clutter, let the old shit go. During retrograde season, there was a lot coming back for you in terms of information, or maybe stuff that you had not settled with or settled about, or that was making you unsettled. So this is really the time when you're able to let that be washed away. And maybe that's what's so wonderful about the deluge this week of emotions. It's actually a cleansing of sorts for you. Let that shit go. I also feel you taking the weight off of you this week and letting it go. Letting it be somebody else's fucking problem is essentially what I'm saying. Because if you've gotten too almost crazy in you know, obsessing over how everybody else is doing it and are they getting it done, and it's almost like in this is the period when you realize I'm hurting myself and it's just not worth it, right? So there's a sense of let that shit go, and honestly, you're going to be open up to a really beautiful period. Now is a lucky time when you're able to clear out space so that there is room for the absorption of new things. Or it's almost like when you clear out space, you create a vacuum that sucks new things in. So that's what the energy is doing for you this week. It's that old shit. It's that flow of emotions is cleansing out that old shit. It's vacuuming out that old crap and creating a vacuum that is sucking in something new. And then we have time for a deep dive. You will end up back in Libra. Mercury will end up back in Libra, which means it is very partnership minded. It's also very able to be open up again, able to be open up to the opposite perspective, seeing things from both sides, really being able to actually enjoy learning about a different perspective. This could also be finally you being able to clean out the emotions from one relationship and creating that pull for a new relationship to come in. If that has been the case, it could be a relationship with your lover, with your spouse. It could be a relationship with your work, with your job. You know, that sense of finally being able to let go of old duties, old responsibilities, and making way and sucking in all of those new things. And it's almost like in so many ways, you're finally going to be able to talk to somebody again. You're finally going to be able to forgive, forget, let go of, and be able to have an open conversation again. This is like I'm good and over it. Like we've cleaned that out. Like feeling like it's actually done because you're able to talk to them again. So communications are going to start to open up again, because you'll be more open again. You'll be actually interested once again in seeing things not so much the way you expected, but you'll be open to the unexpected. Let spirit be your guide usually means there are spirit messages that are coming into you, but it also means seeing things objectively. Spirit is definitely here with you, which means, Virgo, this is a different mentality for you, but I think it's a mentality that Listen, I'm not going to go all into stereotypes of Virgos. I think that you're ready for this. This is what you want. And what you want is to just have faith. What you want is to not have to stress and not have to know every single second of every single day or how exactly this is going to go. You actually are more than happy to let somebody else take the lead. And this is just another card that represents faith, that represents you feeling really good or being able to feel really good about this higher perspective. It's almost like with all this communion with Jupiter and Neptune, there's a reconnection of sorts with your faith. With it's not about religion. It's about being able to have faith in something, in anything again, and relinquish the need to have to micromanage it or control it. Because, oh my God, once again, don't I deserve that break? Time for a beginner mindset. This is definitely wanting to be able to turn around and look at things face forward, because if you walk into the room backwards as a porcupine, people, it's going to intimidate people. That's the part that hurts, right? So this is kind of a sense of somehow you're going to get a perspective, a new perspective, and almost a tranquil, safe perspective on somebody's pain and suffering, perhaps your own pain and suffering, why people have been maybe being standoffish towards you, or why somebody has been standoffish towards you. Kind of realizing that it could have been because of your behavior, the way that you were kind of like, you thought you were helping, right? You were piecemealing, or this could be somebody doing it to you, right? This is the energy of somebody who was they were so defensive, they were over defending themselves, and because of that, people were giving them a wide berth. They were like, oh, okay, they're going to be prickly today, so I'm just not going to talk to them or go anywhere near them. You're going to find now an insight into what was happening, what was going on, and if somebody actually really needs that space to begin with. Because I don't think they necessarily want to be alone. I just think there's a lot of fear that's going on inside of them, and ultimately that's just something that they have to be willing to work through, and the implication is they are willing to work through it. It is a tender matter, it is a tender issue. It's going to take an objective perspective, but I think that objectivity, or walking into this situation with a mental objectivity, not necessarily clarity, because you don't know what you don't know, but it's almost like once I accept I don't know what I don't know, and that I'm okay with not knowing what I don't know, and that I'm still okay with proceeding into the room or into the situation, even though I don't have everything mapped out. There's a calm that comes too. Well, if I'm not expecting anything, then I'm sure as hell going to be a lot less disappointed about everything, because I'm not expecting anything to begin with. Bring a gentle touch, which is once again a lovingness or a loveliness that is coming back into your modality, your situation, whatever it is that you're dealing with, or maybe even just yourself. This is Virgo energy, so this is healing energy. There's healing all around this energy. Beautiful energy for like cleaning out the hurt, like the bubble's already popped with all the ooze and grossness, but it's like cleaning it out, washing it out, and putting some alcohol on it and making sure that it, when you're cleaning a wound, that now it's really all, not only is the dirt cleared from around it, but it's cleared from inside of it too, and there's time and space now for it to just heal. There's really a cleansing here. Bring a gentle touch is being patient with somebody, and having the ability to be patient. So it's the universe really siding with you and saying, Virgo, you're going to have the energy. We're going to support you to sort of be calmer in this situation. We're going to support you to need to know less and need to understand more. And it's that modality that's going to really, I think, relinquish the grip and open the doors, right? Learn from the past is you don't want to end up the same way somebody else was. This could be matriarchal energy, maternal energy, or it's just from your past in general you've seen. At least now you can see objectively. the way something goes, and realizing if I don't like the way that it goes, then I have to choose. I have to make the decision to not let it go in that direction, to not let it go that way. And so it's because you are connecting the current situation with a past situation that you are able to decide to do things differently, so that there's not a repetition of an outcome that you probably did not like, or else you wouldn't be thinking of doing it differently. And it could even be learning from somebody else's example, like seeing how things ended up for somebody, and all of a sudden you realizing, holy shit, I'm going down that same path. You know, that sense of, but I don't like that path, and look where they ended up. And it's almost like I'm sure you guys have known this, the Christmas Carol, where it's like Ebenezer Scrooge gets reminded of what could happen. You know, the scary ghost of Christmas future is death. Oh, death. But that wasn't really the scary part. The scary part was that he was dead and nobody cared. That grave was unkept. It was lonely. Like, he had isolated himself so much that there was just a sense of nobody even gave a shit. It was the loneliness and the meaninglessness of his life because of how he had ended up living it. And so ultimately, I think like that's kind of what you see, the ghosts of Christmas future, when you realize, holy crap, if I continue down that path, I end up like them. I end up this way. And this is like the actual like spiritual blessing of this week. It's just the exceptionality of the holy crap, I don't have to make those decisions. I don't have to choose those things. And now that I have this perspective on life and on, you know, my path, I can definitely like make it better, make it better. Give with gratitude and grace, opening yourself up to and pouring your whole self in, no expectations. That's what I'm getting off this card. So it's the lack of expectations. It's the givingness. It's the forgivingness. It's the want and desire to make amends. All of these are just permeating energies for you this week, permeating every aspect of your existence this week. Remember, guys, if you haven't already, boop that like button and give me a thumbs up. As well, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you know when I upload Virgo content, but all kinds of content. Virgo content comes out every single Friday, but the other zodiac signs come out all different days. So boop that little bell too, and you'll be able to know. And remember, there's always an extended reading that I create for you where I'll go into specifics about how this energy impacts actual situations in your life. So I hope you join me for that too. Those links are in the description box below. Step out of your comfort zone. And I think this whole week is saying that you're allowing your faith to guide you. You're allowing your higher self, your stronger self, you're allowing your braver self to guide you. You're allowing yourself to be uncomfortable, Virgo, because you're realizing that comfort is guiding you down a path that you really don't have any control over, that you really don't have any input in. You know, it's not so much about control as it is about input. And you realize that, okay, well then you're really strong this week. And the strength is coming from your malleability. Yeah, your ability to just sort of like, you're not grinding, you're not piecemealing, you're just flowing. So what a beautiful opportunity for you to be able to make a lot of progress. Anything that deals with North Node work, you are making a lot of progress in your life, because when you align yourself with where the energy of your North Node, you align yourself with your higher self and your better self and living your life at a higher vibrational level. So this is what I would suggest to you. Check out your natal chart, figure out where is my North Node and what is it requiring of me? What is it asking of me? I know that the North Node right now is in Taurus energy, but I feel really strongly that this has more to do with your North Node and exactly what it is that you have to face, what it is that you have to look at. What is your discomfort zone? Because that's what you got to step into. Now, interesting, I just asked this. the natural north node to Virgo is Pisces. It's the opposite energy. And it's interesting because Pisces energy, Neptune and Jupiter is in Aries, but it's also very it's very Neptunian in that it used to control the Pisces energy. So anyway, just a sense of broadening, expanding, and going outside of what you can measure is your north node. It's your natural north node. It may not be your literal natal north node, but that is what you're opening up to. And this is all about healing, cleansing, and forgiving yourself, finding faith, and being able to let go of those things that have become vices. And it doesn't always have to be drugs and alcohol. Vices very well could be, vices are your south node. Vices are, what I've gotten too comfortable in, and the routines that I've gotten too comfortable in, the structure that I've gotten too comfortable in, people relying on me that I've gotten too comfortable with, and now I have to rely on somebody else, and now I have to get out of this. Like, this is what you're reaching for. And I feel like there's such a spiritual connection, really connecting with spirit, and maybe having some actual literal spiritual experiences this week that I would love to know all about. Please do leave your comments below so that I can understand exactly how it is you're experiencing all of this energy. And I hope that you join me for the extended reading. That link is right there below in the description box, and I'll pin it to the top of the comments too. I'll see you guys there.